In the end of the 19th century, when surgeries reached a peak, it was seen that surgeries were done successfully, but after surgeries, the patients often died. During that time, a Nobel laureate called Landsteiner, who lived in Vienna, noticed that many people died post-surgeries. So, he spoke to all the doctors present in the hospitals of Vienna and discussed about the patients who died post-surgery and found out that most of the people died due to clotting of blood. See, there were few people who survived blood transfusions, but many of them died because of this blood transfusion. So why were people dying? Because red blood cells are same in all human beings. Well, that is not true. Red blood cells have different surface molecules like this in different people. People having A surface molecules are said to have a blood type A, and persons who have B surface molecules on their red blood cells are said to have a blood group B. Now, if a person has a blood group A, that means all the RBCs contain this kind of surface particles. Now, if he gets a transfusion from a man who has a B blood group, then this blood becomes a foreign particle, that is an antigen. Antigen is an antibody generator. These antibodies are secreted in the plasma. So antibodies are secreted against this blood, which is foreign for a person having a A blood type. So clotting will take place as a result of this, and a person will die because of this clotting. Because clotting will take place inside the blood vessels, preventing the further flow of blood. Now, if the blood from a person having A blood type is transfused to a person having a B blood type, the recipient will die. Similarly, if the blood from a person having B blood type is transfused to a person having a A blood type, the recipient will die. So this process, which is the reaction between the antibodies and the surface molecules that causes a clot, is known as agglutination. Agglutination means to glue. So this gluing causes the clotting of blood, and thus a person dies. Now see, if a person has a blood group A, it means that he will have antibodies against blood group B in his body. So this antibody, which is anti-B antibodies, will not react with the blood group A, but it will react if this person is getting a blood transfusion from a man carrying a blood group B. Because these anti-B antibodies will react with the B blood and cause agglutination. Similarly, if a person has a B blood group, he will have anti-A antibodies in his plasma. These anti-A antibodies do not agglutinate with B blood type, but it will agglutinate with A blood if this person gets a transfusion from a man who has the A blood group in his body. Agglutination will take place and the person will die because of clotting of blood. So, blood group A means that the red blood cells have A antigens on their surface, but they will have anti-B antibodies in the plasma. Similarly, a person having a blood group B will have B antigens on its surface, but it will have anti-A antibodies in his plasma. Now, Landsteiner noticed that there were many patients who could donate blood to everybody. So he conducted experiments on the blood of various people and found out that there was another blood group present known as the O blood group. This O blood type does not have any surface antigens on it. So when it is transfused into a man who is carrying the A blood group, it does not react. So agglutination does not take place, and so the person survives. So Landsteiner came up with 3 blood groups: blood group A, blood group B, and blood group O. Blood group A has antibodies against blood group B, but it has A antigens on its surface. Blood group B has antibodies against A blood group, but has antigens of B type. But blood group O does not have any surface antigens, but it has antibodies against both blood group A and blood group B. Now, Landsteiner also noticed that there were a few patients who could accept blood from everybody. So he conducted several experiments once again and found out that there was a 4th blood group, which is blood group AB. Now, in blood group AB, the red blood cells carry surface antigens of both blood group A as well as blood group B. But it does not contain any antibodies against either blood group A or blood group B. And that is why it is able to accept blood from every person, because it does not have any antibodies against the blood of either a blood group A or a blood group B man. So agglutination does not take place, and so he is able to survive. Now, all the doctors followed this ABO system of blood grouping, and the number of deaths slowly reduced. But there were a few rare cases where death was still happening even after proper blood type matching. So, how was this happening? Well, a few scientists who were working on rhesus monkeys then found out that these monkeys do not have a blood group A or a blood group B like the human beings. They have a completely different antigen on their red blood cells. Now, they also found out that few of the monkeys had red blood cells without any surface antigen. So, the red blood cells that contained these antigens were called Rh positive. Rh comes from rhesus monkeys, and the red blood cells that did not have this antigen was called Rh negative. So Rh positive blood contains this antigen, but it does not have any antibodies against anything in the plasma. But Rh negative blood does not have any antigens on its surface, but it has an antibody against the Rh positive blood. So maximum people have blood like this. They have the Rh antigens present on its blood cells. So these people are Rh positive blood group holders. But there are a few rare cases when the RBCs do not contain this Rh antigen, and they are said Rh negative blood groups. Now, if a person is carrying O positive blood group, that is O blood together with the Rh antigens, and if this man is transfusing blood in a man who has O negative blood, that is O blood without the Rh antigens, then the anti-O plus antibodies will react with the surface antigens and cause agglutination. So let us see what is happening. So this man is O positive, and this blood is getting transfused into a O negative person. So the anti-O positive antibodies and the surface antigens, they react and cause agglutination, and then the person dies. So today we follow this blood grouping system. If a person is carrying A blood type along with the Rh antigens, we call him A positive blood. And if he possesses A blood group but without the Rh antigens, we say that he belongs to the A negative blood group. Similarly, a person can have B positive or B negative, AB positive or AB negative, and O positive and O negative blood in his body. A donor who has a blood group A can donate blood to another man who has blood group A and to a man who is carrying AB blood in his body. A donor who is carrying B blood group in his body can donate blood to another man carrying B blood group and to a man who has AB blood group. A donor who has AB blood in his body can donate only to a person who has AB blood in his body. And a donor who has a O blood group can donate blood to all people carrying different blood groups, like he can donate blood to a person with a blood group A, to a person who has a blood group B, to a person who has a blood group AB, as well as to a person who carries O blood type in his body. So from here, you can see that O, a person carrying O blood group, is a universal donor. That is, he can donate blood to every human being. And you can also see that a person who has the AB blood group is the universal recipient. That is, he can take blood from every human being. Till now, we have studied that a person having a blood group O can donate blood to anybody. But is this fact completely true? Well, there is another factor known as the Rh factor, which differentiates between the blood groups. So blood group O can be further divided into O positive and O negative. So now let us see what happens when a person having a O blood group tries to donate blood to another person having a O blood group. Now see, if the donor is O positive, he can give blood or donate blood to a recipient who is O positive. But he cannot give or donate blood to a recipient who is O negative. A donor having the blood type O negative can donate blood to a recipient O positive or a recipient who is O negative. So from here we can see that O negative is the universal donor. Similarly, till now we have studied that a person with blood group AB is the universal recipient. That is, he can accept blood from anybody. But is this fact completely true? Well, no. This is because of the presence of another blood factor known as the Rh factor, which differentiates between the different blood groups. So AB blood group can be further divided into AB positive and AB negative. So now let us see what happens if a donor with AB blood type donates blood to another person carrying the same blood type. Well, if a donor is AB positive, he can donate his blood to another person with blood AB positive, but he cannot donate blood to another person having the blood group AB negative. Now, a AB negative donor can give his blood to a AB positive recipient, and he can also donate his blood to a AB negative recipient. So from this chart, you can easily find out that AB positive is the universal recipient. That is, person having AB positive blood group can accept blood from any person.